Good evening, YouTube. This is Kaylin's Terrain coming at you with my regular Sunday night dinner. And tonight I am having the second of the two Halal US MREs that were brought to me by Aletha and as shown in the video where I opened up both this one and the one that was in this bag. I wanted to show the differences in the packing of the individual items. And I had noticed that in that other one with the snacks and all that, they were in this type of packaging that was, like these. So I saved that bag because I'm going to be using it as a trash bag anyway. Let's see, we got Pete, Angry Blacksmith. Let's see, I think those are it so far. Thanks for dropping in. I got water on the boil, and I showed you the accessory pack is always different in these than the other MREs. This and that is here. Thanks for dropping in. So here is the Halal beef stew. This is a 2021 pack. Spicy tuna rolls is here. So this is very, very hot off the line, fresh, as fresh as I can get it anyway. So I got raisins. See, these are snack heavy, like almost like the First Strike rations. A tropical punch drink. I'm not too fond of this, but I'll mix it up anyway. This is a new one, Santa Fe Adobo mix. And it doesn't feel like a whole lot in there. Dry roasted and salted peanuts, and these are vacuum sealed. Mike is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Very good vacuum seal on that. The patriotic sugar cookies, and they feel like they're going to be pretty crushed. Get the sleeve with the info on the beef stew. There is Aletha here. Thanks for dropping in. Nothing on this side. And I dropped the FRH. Which I'm not going to use because, hey, I'm in my kitchen. I can. And then there are two additional items which I added. Because there's no hot drink, I am going to have another tea, but this is a slightly different tea. This is just loose in a box, so I decided to put it inside of this little Walgreens pill pouch. This is a Lipton Yellow Label. This is very similar to what I get. I can get at Halal groceries. That will go in the for an MRE mug, and I'll save this and use it later for something else. I don't know why these companies don't put a hot drink in the Halal MREs. I don't get that. because there's nothing in the Muslim dietary guidelines that say you cannot have a hot drink with a meal. You just go to any Middle Eastern grocery store and you'll see there's all kinds of coffees and teas. So get the spoon. I'm not going to use that because I have my foreign MRE spork. And one thing you don't get in the standard US MRE is an actual napkin. Yep. White matches. But these are not D.D. Bean & Sons. These are Atlas Match. I don't know if this will focus. It says, it won't focus, but it's Atlas Match. You get 2 packs of sugar, but nothing to put it in. And you get something that standard MREs do not have, pepper. There's Carla in the house. See if there's anyone else I missed. Nope, I think that's all caught up on who's here. You get the fresh nap and the usual rear roll. Well, that tear notch didn't work because it was above the seal, apparently. The cheaters will see to that. I do that to try to avoid getting all of the powder everywhere. I'll keep them out. I'm mixing this up first before anything else because this stuff takes a while to dissolve. Wyoming is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. These red drinks, even though this is tropical punch, it looks almost like the other fruit punch. Maybe just a little bit more orange. But these things leave that red residue behind in my drinking jar when I'm done. That's all I'm going to stir for now. I'll do it again later. I don't always drink tea with milk or creamer in it. I used to do that a lot when I was younger, but every once in a while I'll still do it. But this is very popular in in a lot of places. Of course, in England, I'm not sure if it's an Irish or Scottish thing as well, but in England, they do put milk in their tea. And at my mosque, sometimes I have seen and tasted what some of the smaller members call milk tea. So it's a lot of milk and sugar, so it's very sweet. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, put it in the kitchen, put it in the pot, and then I'll be back with hot water for the tea. There's James Ortiz in the house, so I'll be right back. I'll put a little more in there. That'll be enough. I'm stirring it, just let the tea bag float up, stirring it to dissolve the sweetened condensed milk. And I will put that back there, let the tea steep. I'll start opening up all this other stuff. Here's the tear notch for the raisins. How weird is that? Normally I would just cut this open, but I'm going to go ahead and pull this. Tell me that isn't weird. The raisins are a bit on the sticky side, but at least they're not the osmotic ones. I cannot stand that. But there is close up of the raisin. There's no tear notch on the peanuts, but I can fix that. I'll try to... There, I created one. Let's see if we can get a hiss out of this. Yeah, no hiss. Oh well. There we go, get my tray more in frame. This one I'm going to tear this way. This is the Santa Fe Adobo mix. They didn't rip all the way across, so oxygen absorber. Now this is one of the things I really like about this tray is I have different sized compartments I can use for the items. Looks like this one I would go across this way too, but I'm gonna try to shake the cookies down a little. Oxygen absorber. As you can see, these really took a hit. What I need now is that berry cobbler. Get all these cookie crumbs out of here so they don't make the stew too sweet. So there is all of the snacks. I'm going to just give the drink another stir because it still hasn't fully dissolved. Let's see, make sure my phone is straight. Which one? The adobo? I'm just scrolling back through the chat. Oh, there's someone I haven't seen any here. WKZZR in the house. Thanks for dropping in. I do this every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern. So I am going to go get the halal beef stew. And I'll be right back. I am back. I use this thing, which is part of my kitchen cookware set. It's basically like a dome lid I can put on a couple of my pots. But it makes a very handy carrying tray. I'll get the tray back in line when I finish drying off this. So I get that out of the way. Now let's see. Thing will. Nope, I want to focus, you idiot. Now, because the tear notch goes across this way, I shake the food down. That was a nice clean rip. Oops. I'll just call that good. So here is the halal beef stew. It looks exactly like the beef stew that you would get in other US MREs, except for the meat comes from a cow that has been humanely slaughtered and hand processed, or taken to a company that does halal processing of meats. But it's got carrots, potatoes, peas. It tastes exactly the same. The potatoes are soft, but they have not completely gone to mush. There's a couple of the carrots. Sorry, my phone mount shakes. It's not a real steady thing. The carrots are very soft. The peas are soft too. Now there is a look at the meat itself. Let's see if I can get this thing to focus on it. Sorry if it looks fuzzy, but this thing just doesn't want to focus. It's finely shredded, but not to the point of being ground beef. But I have enjoyed this beef stew before. I think I'm going to go ahead and take this tea bag out of here. It's been in there long enough. It almost, when you do tea like this, it almost looks like a coffee, like a light coffee or latte. But this would be a proper English tea if I had an actual British tea. Here are some of the roasted and salted peanuts. They're definitely salty. There is Smitty in the house. Thanks for dropping in. There's some of the raisins. CT in the house. Thanks for dropping in. It's 21 Halal beef stew MRE. Now I'm going to look at this adobo mix. There's a corn nut. This looks like a breadstick. There's a peanut. This is two of those sesame things, like sesame bites or whatever. Sunflower kernel. And some almonds. That is everything that I could pick out from this adobo mix. Adobo is a spice blend that is very popular in Latin cuisine. This one has a bit of a kick to it. There's definitely some kind of a chili powder added in order to give it that little extra kick. After a second stir, you get this stuff on the red tropical fruit punch and the regular fruit punch. And it just, that came up. This is one of the sugar cookies. Just your typical sugar cookie. But I'm going to go back to more of this. Well, what would have been awesome is if there would have been some kind of a bread with this. See, if I had the wheat snack bread, I would rip it up, put that down first, and then put the stew on top. Or if I had some crackers, Mix some busted up crackers in here. Looks like looks like some trash got taken out. Awesome. Thanks to one of the mods who did that. Actually, I think you're all classy. I think everyone who comes to all of these ration streams and watches the videos, all classy. Except for the porno dorks, of course. They can all put their crap where the sun don't shine. I have my tea in my foreign MRE mug. Speaking of ration channels, Bob changed the name of the MRE Nation channel to Minotaur Trading Company. So it's the same channel, he just changed the name. He put out a video updating on what happened with the subscription service, that there was some major system burps, and he had to get some tech heads in to fix that. But all that is fixed now, and those who wanted to subscribe to that and get their first box, he is working with them to get that done. So those people can get their boxes. Let's see. Booger Butt and Booger Butt is here. Or at least maybe half. Thanks for dropping in. This is 2021 Halal Beef Stew MRE. The Halal MREs do not have menu numbers because they come in clear packaging. So if they put this in right, you can see what it is. Or you can see if they put the retort in with the writing on it facing out. Pete, Booger Butt and Booger Butt, half of that duo is Dave. LJ is the other half. So Dave comes to the streams. LJ may or may not be around to watch. It just depends on what that young man is doing. You know, a kid has to have a life too, you know. But I enjoy watching both their reactions to the various foods that they dig into. Yep, see, he is, yep, he's living his life, getting some shut-eye. After all, school is tomorrow. I should probably just stop wolfing this stuff down. and add a little bit of this in there. I won't put the almonds in. I'll throw some of the sunflower seeds in there. They're small. Throw some of the peanuts in. Some of the corn nuts. I only had one piece of that sesame thing, whatever that was, but I got more of these. I probably should have done this sooner, but anyway, here it goes. Oh, Shocker is here. Thanks for dropping in. $20.21 halal beef stew. This is adobo snack mix, and I put some of that in here. But I got cheated on those sesame bits. I only got one of them, but I do have sesame seeds in here. Got a couple of almonds. Those are nicely roasted. Also got the roasted salted peanuts over here. Yep, they are. Except they could do without this. They need to change that one up. I will drink it, but I would have preferred another flavor. Wow, Aletha, she must have been really, really small. Maybe the run of the litter. And Doxy Mom is here. Thanks for dropping in. I guess these raisins and the sugar cookies would be the dessert, I suppose. And Carlos Perry is here. Thanks for dropping in. Well, Carla, she must be a handful. Years ago, when I was in Arkansas, while I was attending college back in the mid-'80s, we had some friends that we would hang out, or they would come to our place, and they would bring their Brendel boxer, and he was known for his silent but deadlies. Otherwise, he was pretty fun to be around. Now I wish these roasted salted peanuts would show up in other rations, because these are done pretty good. Yep. Mila is 18. She turned 18 in October. And lately she has been sleeping a whole lot more when she's not harassing Pumpkin. If Pumpkin gets close to her, she will hiss and yowl. She doesn't really attack, but if Pumpkin tries to play, she's 2 years old, and she's twice the size of Mila. I don't know if she's done growing or what, but I've had to upsize the cat food bags because she eats twice as much as Mila. But other than that, Mila just sleeps most of the time. So I don't know if this is a sign that she is slowing down. Or what, but when that time comes, I'm sure I'll know it, and I'll probably have to make a phone call, maybe to have someone from the Animal Rescue League come and take her, as a lot of people say, to cross the Rainbow Bridge. Now, if she's giving me pain signals or whatever, I don't want to sound like a downer, but, when it comes to your fur kids or your feathered kids, when it's time for them to go, you got to deal with it. For those coming in late, these Halal MREs do not have a hot drink of any kind, so I add one. This is a Lipton Yellow Label tea bag, and I added a sweetened condensed milk packet to make it like a British tea. But this adobo snack mix, it's really good. I like it. I'd like to see this come up more. Ooh, actually, I want to scroll back to see that. I want to see what Dave. Oh, is it your knee that needs a fix-it job? Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'll look forward to that update. But my right knee has no cartilage at all, so it has been a real annoyance. So hopefully the hardware does you good. A friend I have on Facebook had issues with her first knee replacement. It was a botched job, and then she went to have a correction. It was a botched job. Now she's had her third surgery, or is about to. I can't remember which, but she's been going through a heck of a time. And so she moved closer to where she has some good doctors and therapists who can help her better. Oh, have a good night, Doxy Mom and Shocker. That Valentine ration video is pretty good. I really enjoyed that one. Go check out Shocker 71. their Valentine video where they opened up a 24-hour Z-Ration from allmres.com in the red bag. And in the background, you could hear one of the dachshunds making a little noise. Bye-bye. There we go. Yeah, I tried to go ahead and take them out, but it's kind of slow on my phone, but I still reported, so. And that's how you take out the trash. Yeah. If you have a fast connection, or say you're doing it on a computer, that might be a lot easier. So that's why I have several mods, and all channels should do this. Sean should do this for the Ration Museum channel. He needs to modify a few people. Yeah, I remember that, DeCarlos. That was some nasty stuff you went through. And I'm glad you had a good recovery from that. Well, let's do a little something here. Throw a few peanuts in with the raisins. Throw some of this in. I mixed some of the salted peanuts with this adobo snack mix. Oh, that might be a classified top secret what's going on in Aletha's kitchen. Because we would probably all be over there. Though I'm the closest since I'm already in Iowa. Oh, baked spaghetti. So she's letting the secret out. That does sound good. When I used to watch more TV all the time, I used to watch Giada De Laurentiis in her cooking show. And sometimes she would take what would be leftover spaghetti and make what she called a frittata. She would literally combine that spaghetti with some other stuff and literally fry it in a skillet and then flip it like it was a pancake. Yeah, it would be nice to be able to make my own sauce, but for me, I would have to do it in a small batch since I have such a small apartment. So I just pretty much stick with the canned sauces or jarred sauces. Well, sometimes you just have to have a burrito. I could go across the street to Tasty Tacos. Well, I'd have to cross the park. But basically a block away. But even though I'm that close, I don't go there because obviously I want to spend my money on stuff that will last. Yep. Homemade is good. But I have made quesadillas. Ooh, yum, Carla. That sounds awesome. There used to be a Mexican restaurant here. They had 3 locations until something happened in their family and they had to close them all down. But they had more of the authentic, real Mexican food instead of the stuff that you would get at, say, like Taco John's or Taco Bell. Now, I will take Tasty Tacos over all those others any day. They're local. They only have, they're up to 3 locations now. But yeah, I'll take them over any other so-called Mexican fast food place. Oh, that's okay. Chicken nuggets are perfectly fine. I have had the halal chicken nuggets that I can get at the Halal groceries. I don't get those very often, but if I had the freezer space, I'd get one of each brand and then I would compare them. You know, which one has the better flavor. But if we start doing meals during Ramadan, which starts at the probably about a month and a half, maybe. I'd have to check the dates for sure. If we do meals, and I really hope we do, because I miss that so much. Sometimes someone will do chicken nuggets for the kids. And Hilla can order a restaurant pack It should be like this huge bag full of them. That would probably equal about 10 of the standard boxes. Well, let's see. I gotta. Well, I hope there is something cool to find in Missouri. I found a few things when I was there back in '84, my senior class trip. But one of those cool things is no longer in existence. When we were there, we took in a baseball game at the old Busch Stadium, which was by the Arch. And the St. Louis Cardinals were playing the LA Dodgers. And a local group there paid for our tickets, so we didn't have to pay for anything but any stuff we got from the concessions. But we toured the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. That is the same brewery that in 1993 processed a crap ton of canned water and sent it up here. And when I had returned to my apartment that I was living in at the time after spending a couple of weeks with one of my sisters, I babysat her son while she went to her workplace and did no shipping and receiving. She was cleaning out the building, at least, they had to clean out the building because the flood got so high in there. But I stayed with her and babysat her then 6-month-old son. But when I returned to my apartment, I got one of those flats of that Anheuser-Busch canned water, and I wish I would have saved one. Or at least an empty can, but I didn't. I don't remember at all how much they did, but they must have sent probably several truckloads of that canned water up here, because we had no potable water for over a month. So in addition to that canned water that I got, I was going to a water distribution site and getting jugs filled. And I wouldn't be surprised if that company has done that either at the St. Louis facility or some of their other facilities after other major floods, because they use, water is the main ingredient in beer. So if they can process a bunch of cans of beer, they can process a bunch of cans of water and ship that out to wherever it's needed. And I'm pretty sure other breweries have done the same, but I just remember getting that water from Anheuser-Busch. Let's see, just for kicks. I dunked the cookie in the tea. But all it does is, You don't want to hold it in there very long because these will just turn to mush immediately. That's how light these are. And as you can see, very few of them are still intact. But they are a very fresh cookie, so yeah, I think I'll just keep this right here. Wow. Yep. That's what we got to Carlos, was those big chicken nugget packs during Ramadan, or when there was another meal and the cooks wanted to do something for the kids as well as adults. So busting up one of those big bags is a whole lot more convenient when you're doing a large amount than opening up 10 boxes. Let's see. That's funny, Pete. Well, there are lots of fountains. There are a few fountains here in Des Moines, but they're all shut off. Although today our high has been, let's see, I'm going to check that. Check the high for today. See here, our high was 63, and it's gone back down to 54. So, in fact, last night it got pretty warm in my apartment. I turned my heater off. It had not been running for a while anyway because I was running my dehydrator, and that was putting out a bit of heat. I dehydrated some onions. So before I went to bed last night, I turned the heater off. And then this morning I cracked the windows and I turned the tower fan on in my bedroom. And tomorrow it's supposed to be in the 50s. So today I actually did something productive. I emptied my little compost bucket that I keep under the sink into the green bucket that I found on the ground. That was a tree bucket. It lost its handle. And at the time, all the new trees that were on the block still had their buckets attached to them. And so I decided, you know what? I need a bigger compost bucket. So I brought that upstairs. I didn't even bother cleaning it. I just started dumping stuff that I was composting. So I've added eggshells, leaves I picked up off the deck. I have, I dehydrated some chiles, some jalapenos and Anaheims, some fruit scrap, onion scrap, things like that I've added, and coffee grounds are the base. Oh, wrong kind of fountain. I thought you meant like an outdoor water fountain. See, the closest place to a lunch counter we have here in this area, I don't even know if it's in existence anymore. But it was more like a 50s style diner kind of a thing. The decor was like a 50s style diner. The menu kind of reflected that. They had a drink called a phosphate, which is kind of like a soda and a fruit punch or something like that. It was carbonated. And on your birthday, they'll pour a shake on your head. Not literally dump it on you, but someone will hold the glass on the top of your head or on your forehead if you lean your head back, and then someone else will pour the shake into it. Yeah, they have shakes and malts and mini jukeboxes on all the tables. And they were set so that the volume was not too high, so your music would not interfere with the table next to you. But their food was really good. That would be the closest thing to a lunch counter that I have seen here. I mean, I don't count buffets or anything like that. We have Dairy Queens here, but they're closed in the winter. Yeah, I don't know of any place here that does breakfast and lunch only. Oh, that's a bummer, Dave. I guess you'll have to go to something else. There's another little hole in the wall joint that I had never been into, but it used to be right next to where what used to be the convention center, the downtown convention center. And then when another building got remodeled and additions built onto that old convention center became a YMCA. That replaced an old YMCA and an old YWCA that were both torn down. And all of the convention stuff now takes place at a set of 3 buildings that are connected by skywalks. There's Wells Fargo Arena, the old Veterans Auditorium has a credit union's name on it. Then there's another section called Hy-Vee Hall, which Hy-Vee is a grocery store chain that's based here, and they put their name on a section of it. It's that whole set is known as the Iowa Event Center. And then not too far from there, I have not seen it yet because I've never ventured over there. We have a new, what's described as a championship skate park. In fact, one of the Summer Olympic trials for skateboarding was held right here. That was the first event at our new skate park. Now we have Sonic here. We also have another chain called Bebop's. That's kind of a 50s style vibe. Or 60s. You pull up, you can have someone bring your order to your vehicle. Instead of going through a standard drive-through. Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts is showing up here, but some of their locations are nothing more than a pull-up, a drive-through, just like another one called Scooters. You either walk up to it, the outside of the building, or you drive up. If they have a drive-through, you put in your order, they hand it to you through a window, and then you're on your way. I used to go to coffee shops more often to get coffees. But I haven't for a while. You know, when we were doing the Friday meals at my mosque, after the Friday prayer, we would serve lunch, and then I would stay and clean up afterwards. And sometimes, you know, I'd also show up early to get some advanced prep work done. And then sometimes I would go there and get a coffee, because it was just more convenient than putting a pot on, putting the electric kettle on. You know, I guess it's no more convenient, I guess, than making it right there, because we have an electric kettle that can boil the water in just a few minutes, and I can make myself some instant coffee. But I preferred the Frederick's coffee. I wouldn't get a snack because I knew I would be eating lunch after the prayer anyway, so I just got the coffee. You know, went into the mosque and did my thing, and, you know, I'd be spending several hours in there. And in the summer, I might get an iced coffee. Yeah, me too, Carla. In a couple of places I heard they had, I was at one that had done this. They had combined with a Dairy Queen. So you go in, you can order Dairy Queen stuff, but you can also order A&W stuff. And you pay, you don't pay for those separate. They're combined, so you just pay for all of those at once. Yeah, never heard of that. We're starting to get a few of the Krispy Kreme locations here. Or a few more, I should say. But most of the time, if I was getting donuts, I went on the cheap and I would either go into the Hy-Vee and get them or the local gas station like Quick Trip. We had a couple of the A&W mugs at home. So once in a great while, a mom or dad would put those in the freezer. And then, of course, only during the summer we'd do this. And then we would have our root beer floats in those pre-chilled mugs. Yeah, they can be pretty sweet. I think you would have to specify different icings or toppings or whatever, or nothing on the donut itself if you didn't want it that sweet. Hugo Homestead is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. This is my dinner tonight. A Halal US MRE from last year. Let's see this. Here we go. I just grabbed the flameless ration heater to show the date code. So this 1 represents the year. And because of the packaging style, I know that this is a 2021. And then these 3 represent the day in the year. So because that's a 0, so this was packed in February of 2021. So the 33rd day is February 2nd. So that's when this flameless ration heater was made. So that's how these date codes work. And on the Canadian IMPs, they actually put the 2 digits for the year. And those are something that I want to get a hold of. I want to get a hold of some of the newer IMPs. Or any of the older ones that have like the poutine, the smoked meat, the Indian chicken, the shepherd's pie. I want to try all those IMPs. Well, I hope not. Although, sometimes you feel like you look at something so deliciously sinful that you feel like you gain weight just looking at it. Mike, I'll check that out later. I'll look for it after I shut this one down. Yeah, no doubt. And they're harder to get than they used to be. So we would have to hook up with Smitty or CT or B Temple. Or Average Joe MRE. He's Canadian also. So we would have to hook up with them in order to maybe get an IMP and hope that Customs doesn't raid it. Well, how they get the beans and wieners? It's probably because what Baxter's is told to do. I'm sure Baxter's probably gets orders from the Canadian government, their Ministry of Defense. Say, you make this, and you put these things with it. Or these, I'm down to the small cookie crumbs. I'm sure that's how most countries, they tell the companies that produce the rations what to put in it, how to formulate it. In addition to how many to put out. But I still have not been able to figure out why the Halal US MREs, you got sugar in the accessory pack, but no hot drink to put it in. And they add the napkin in addition to the wet wipe. And the spoon is in the accessory pack along with the other things. And you get pepper in addition to the salt, which I think all USMRE should have. They should have pepper. Most foreign rations, you get pepper along with the salt. And you get white matches instead of the green or the tan. And these are not D.D. Bean and Sons. But you get the standard rear roll. Oh, I think this is better printed side. Got a lighthouse. Oop, now it's upside down. No, I guess. Yep, it was upside down. Now you get the standard rear roll that's in the other MREs. Just that the accessory pack has changed up with the spoon inside it. Oh, no doubt, DeCarlos, that was probably a mess and a half. That's a lot of dog. Yeah, I have a neighbor next to me who has a German Shepherd Siberian Husky mix. And he is almost all white. Now, you wouldn't think of a German Shepherd as having any white, but I knew one years ago she was gray and black instead of dark tan and black. But this guy next to me, I think the Husky dominates as far as the color, but he's got kind of the German Shepherd body type. But he doesn't bark inside at all. Unless there's a lot of commotion in the halls or maybe something sets off the other dogs. But when he's outside, he'll probably bark if there are other dogs. But inside, he's very quiet. So he's actually gotten used to me. It didn't take him too long to get used to me. But I think he's full grown. I don't think he's going to get any bigger than he is, but he's probably maybe 75 pounds. I'm not good at guessing dog weight, but he's a pretty big boy. But he's a lover. Well, all my food's gone. See, this one, you don't get gum in it either. I don't know if you noticed when I opened the accessory pack, there's no gum in it. Not that I don't mind because I'm not much of a gum chewer like I used to be. Oh, bugger, that must have been, yeah, I got the occasional cat messes to clean up, but, having had Mila for 18 years, that's nothing for me. I've only had a few messes to clean up from Pumpkin. I hope there is no wardrobe malfunction in that tent. That wouldn't be good. Well, I've gotten used to both. I guess sometimes dust will land in the cat food bowl, and that will upset them. I mean, Mila still sniffs the floor, investigating things. There's a cigarette burn marks in the bathroom floor, the linoleum, and both cats repeatedly sniff at it. Apparently they see it, they see the dark spot. And Mila, even though she's been here, I brought her here with me when I moved in here, she still sniffs them out to see if it's something that she can eat. She hasn't figured it out that it's a bit of damage in the floor. I mean, their food is available all the time. I don't have a set feeding time for the cats. They just eat whenever they want. And as you've seen with Mila, most of you, she is still very small. So she's not overweight. Of course, Pumpkin is just a big girl. Even she doesn't constantly eat. They go to the food at different times, so usually they're not interfering with each other. Sometimes Mila eats when Pumpkin is sleeping. Sometimes Pumpkin eats when Mila is sleeping. Oh, wow. That's definitely got me curious, Carla. Yeah, Tack from AOK Foraging and Adventures had found some of those. I don't know if she bought them from one of the local Asian stores or she ordered them online. So I might have to check out the two Asian stores that are here. I know there's one just a few blocks from my apartment. And then I can go a little north and hit up another one. and see if they have those Kit Kats there. Because both of those stores are a little different from each other. And then there's another one that's kind of like a fusion. They have a Hispanic section or inventory. They have Asian inventory. They have just a mix of stuff. Even durian. I've seen durians in there. But I am not busting into one of those buggers. I talked about those durians before. You open them up, they'll stink to high heaven. Oh, cool. Well, you can get the Skyflakes crackers variety packs on Amazon too. That's how Average Joe got some. But those other ones that I tried that were in one of those boxes that I got last year, all of those are really good. Of course, I've had the chocolate ones before because Minotaur had one of those in one of their AFRs. I don't have an H Mart here, so. Oh, yeah. Apparently, yes. CT doesn't. He's not a fan of the coffee crisp. I don't know if it's because he can get it up there so more often, but I like the coffee crisp. I think those are really good. I wouldn't mind getting my paws on a couple of those. Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah, Halal, I can only get two flavors of the mee goreng. That's all they sell, but I had a few other flavors, and I really enjoy them. The vegetable mee goreng does not have the liquid sauce packets. It only has the powder seasoning. And they're in the green packet. Oh, the Skyflakes are pretty darn awesome. I have one Minotaur AFR left in my stash. Well, since I'm done with the tray, might as well move it out of the way. The Skyflake, or see if this has Skyflakes in it. This is cashew chicken. Oh, yes, it does. This is the original Skyflakes. And there are 3 crackers that you can snap apart into smaller sections. Of course, this one has fortune cookies, but I wanted to check to see if it had Skyflakes. Now, those other mee goreng that Aletha brought me that are spelled M-E-E goreng instead of M-I, they are a little bit different as far as the flavor, and they're a bigger pack, but they're still good. I have one of those held back. And I didn't get them this time, but at one Hy-Vee I go to, the one that's the closest here, that's by the city bus station, I can get some vegetarian ramen that some have tofu in them. One is a miso soup flavored, which is really good. Oh, it'd be nice if you could get a Hy-Vee, Carla. I mean, you can get some stuff there that you may not find at Walmart. Of course, it would depend on the size of the store that goes in and what they choose to put in it. If they choose to get some stuff that might be more popular in your area. Or if they want to have an ethnic section. But this same Hy-Vee, where I can get those other ramen noodles, I have gotten the same brands of ghee that I could get at Halal and even Walmart. It's the Swad brand. I have seen that at Halal groceries. I've seen the Ziad brand of ghee in Walmart, but the Swad brand of ghee I've seen at Hy-Vee. That's the only brand that store sells right now. Now there's an Aldi, there are a couple of Aldis here, but I have not been in an Aldi for several years, and from what I've seen from other people who shopped in Aldi, they have changed a lot with their store layouts. So I've been meaning to go into an Aldi to do my monthly grocery shopping, but I just haven't done it yet. Maybe I will have to do that next month. See, that is what is left behind by these red drink mixes. You can see that red. The other ones, don't leave that. Well, Aldi is also in Europe. I know England has Aldis, and I think in Germany they have Aldis, or Austria. I don't remember which one, but I don't know the name of the store where Survival Lily has done some of her shopping when she shows her shopping videos. Yeah, Aldi is a German chain, and so they would be, their parent company would be the one that would own the subsidiaries if it owned Trader Joe's. See, we don't have that here. We don't have a Trader Joe's here. We have a Whole Foods, which is too far from a bus stop. And then we have another one called Gateway Market, which is a bit far from a bus stop, so I don't go there. Never heard of Liddy. Yeah, at Halal, I can get that sheep's milk cheese that I've showed you. I bought that a couple of times. To some people, it may look a little strange. I just eat it right out of the package. And it makes a good grilled cheese sandwich, too. But I can get Bosnian cheeses there. Bosnian feta is very close to Greek feta. It has a very similar taste, and it's packed in a salt brine. And it has the same texture and firmness, and you just use it the same way that you'd use any other feta. And I can get some soft cheeses that I've also seen at Walmart. They're in a cardboard puck, and you open the top, and it's like 6 or 8 triangles. And each one of those would be a serving. I've seen those. Yeah, I ate the living crap out of that government cheese back in the day. In fact, when we were living at the YMCA camp during my high school years, we were getting it, and sometimes we would get a huge load of it, and we would use it at the camp for making food for the campers. Oh, blue cheese is awesome. I love a blue cheese dressing on a salad, or just crumbled blue cheese on a salad. And the Maytag blue is my favorite, although I very, very seldom get it. But the Maytag blue is my favorite blue cheese. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had gorgonzola. I've had brie a few times. I haven't had a huge variety of different cheeses. I do like Munster. I really enjoy that one too. One place I was getting sandwiches actually had Munster, and you could get that on your sandwich. Or sometimes when we were together as a family, someone would buy a pack of Munster and you would put that on a sandwich. At one time, one of my sisters worked for Hickory Farms, so we were getting Hickory Farms cheeses and sausages all the time because my sister would use her employee discount, and we could get all that stuff for a lower price. Now, there are some local producers here that come to the farmers markets. They will set up a table to sell the different cheeses that they make from goat milk, sheep's milk, and I think they do cow's milk cheeses. It's called Prairie Chev, as in a Chev cheese. But I haven't had any of their stuff for several years because I haven't really been hitting up the farmers market. And 2020, it was a drive up only, and you had to pre-order ahead somehow. But I heard of no way for pedestrians to go through there, so I just never bothered. And then last year, it was opened up, but there was a limit on the number of vendors because they were spaced farther apart. But I went down, I shot some video, but that was the only time I went there last year. I didn't go back again. But I sure hope this summer. Oops, I got briefly disconnected. Sorry about that. It's probably about time I hang this one up anyway, since I'm done with my food. But maybe before I do go, I could give you a hint on what I'm going to pull out next week. So I could either do this Minotaur AFR, this cashew chicken, or I'm thinking about that MRE 1776 in this silver Mylar bag. I did a little reorganizing of my ration box, and I put that one as the one I would pull out first. I also still have a Norwegian Arctic Field ration, and I have that Chef 5-minute meals, the complete meal. I have that one that I could also pull out. And of course, I have that newer pack HDR that's in the lineup. And of course, I have some MREs that I have reviewed before, but I did buy that new beef in tomato sauce for an MRE, had that one, so in my order from them, I got that one. Thanks, Carla. Hope to see you next week. But I think I'm going to go ahead and hang this up for tonight. I do want to thank you all for showing up. And as I said before, all of these items that do not get used, I put in my stash, and they become part of my emergency supply that I would either use myself or I could barter them. And so even these spoons, and the spork that's in here, I add these to my collection so that in the event I have to severely limit my water usage, I have a good supply of disposable utensils that I can use and throw away if I have to. Or some of these could get reused again, although these are supposedly biodegradable, but I'm not going to test that. But anyway, like I said, I do save all these. So it will most likely be a chicken one next week, since I had a beef one tonight. But I will post up next week on what I'm going to do next Sunday. So hope you all come back for that. In 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. So thanks for watching, and catch you on the flip side.